What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? What is going on? How's everybody doing out there? Let's have a look at the bubbles. Let's get the bubbles on the screen before we get into the chat here. All right, kind of a mixed bag today, huh? Kind of a mixed bag. Let's go have a look at a broader market. Yeah, look at that. Some recovery, a little bit of recovery. I guess, guys, what we're probably going to see into the evening tonight, because we saw such deep red last night, we'll probably see a lot of these projects recover tonight. So you'll probably see a pretty green bubble screen later this evening around the same 24 hours from when we had our flash crash last night. So probably see some of that. So listen, if you want to do some DCAing, guys, I mean, I've been doing DCAing all night last night, a little bit this morning. I put my buy and sell, or my buy alerts. I haven't sold anything. I put my buy alerts over on the Patreon. So if you want to know what I'm doing in real time on my trades, get over to the Patreon, guys. I am so freaking proud of this community, guys. So proud of this community because we have been talking for about 7 weeks about this dump coming. And so many people paid attention, saved up their dry powder, and so many of you guys capitalized over the last 15 hours or so and really, really stuffed your bags. So I am so proud of this community, guys, for paying attention, for staying on the ball, for sticking with it, because it pays off, man, right? It pays off. So congratulations to all you guys who listened, who believed me, right? All right, who else? What do we got going on here? And Bayer, happy Monday. Thanks for getting us prepared for this feast. Hey, no problem, man. I gave you guys the tools. You guys used them, right? That's it. That's how we work in tandem, man. We are a team. Absolutely. We have a lot to get into this morning. So let's get into the chat here real quick. Jared, happy Monday, everybody. Yesterday was a blast. Hit my target much sooner than I could have imagined. On to the next. Patreon is definitely my most powerful tool. There you go, brother. Absolutely, man. We are there at your disposal. Chris, let's thank God for all we have. We trust in Jesus. Jesus is King. Yes, Jesus is King. Absolutely. Amen, brother. I agree 100% with that. Guys, as always, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Costs you absolutely nothing. So, and listen, I usually, like I said before, guys, I don't really harp on you guys about the like button and stuff like that, but the algorithm is still suppressing the channel, so we need to beat it. We need to beat it down into submission. So hit the like button, guys. Help the channel out. Studio Tech, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I am Jasmine. We're all Jasmine. Remember, everyone, Rob loves you. What's the push-up tax looking like, brother? Well, I mean, yeah, you're only about 4 minutes late, so we'll just stick with 50. American Coins for you. What's going on, man? What a day yesterday. Hell yeah. I know I stuffed my bags. Shane, what's up, man? Dead cat bounce, or did we tip the bottom? Well, we're going to get into that. I see Jess is asking the same question. So we're going to get into that a little bit. We got a lot to cover today, and we're going to form an opinion based on the information that we're about to get into. So stick around for that. Jeffrey, good afternoon, man. Just popped in before work. Enjoyed the conversation last night on the short-term plan. If you're not on the Patreon, you are missing out. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I appreciate you, man. Beebs, my guy, my dude. What's up, man? Mario's in the house. Bruno's here. Volks, what's up, man? William, my guy, my dude. There she is, Gamma Goddess. Let's take advantage of this fire sale. If not, let's hold the line. Continue to follow Rob's guidance and let's get this money. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I sprinkled a little DCA this morning. There you go. There you go. Andrew, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Batlander's in the house here, Rob, and fellow crypto accumulators. There you go. You have been accumulated. ODP. The bubble's looking like Christmas lights. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Thanked H-Bar. Yes, nice. H-Bar for the win. Batlander, I bought a buttload of Miria to top off my bag. There you go. Jared, Rob, you deserve bragging rights for this call, sir. Though I know you won't. Appreciate all you do. Hey, no problem, brother. No problem. The goal here is to help everybody get rich, man. That is the goal. Sean, thanks for the content. H-Bar. Hey, absolutely. We love H-Bar, man. Danny's in the house. What's up, buddy? Liquidity. What's going on? Hope you're doing awesome. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Studio Tech. Rob, you see the future. Bags fully packed. Thank you so much. Trust the process and follow who knows the road. Strawberry Dragons. What's going on? I stayed up until 3 a.m. and scooped up some projects at good low prices. Nice. There you go. Felt good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations on that. Daryl, happy Monday. Used up some dry powder this morning. Yes, guys, I love Mondays. Mondays are my favorite day of the week. It really is. It really, really is. Kat, how you doing, Kat? Good to see you. Good to see you. My guy, my dude, Isaac in the house. Dennis, what's up, man? Red days are happy days for the Patreon. Yeah, exactly. It's weird how that works, eh? it's weird how that works. Saved up a bunch of dry powder for this day, like you called, Rob. I know you're humble about it, but truly awesome calls as always. Hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the acknowledgement, right? You know, I appreciate that. Ditto, we got Ditto in the house. First Pokemon of the day. What's going on? Think we get any lower in the future before we get? I mean, it's possible, but we are going to get into some of the news today. We have an emergency Fed meeting today to talk about and stuff, so we're going to get into it. Buenos dias, Roberto. These prices are super fantastic. Dumped a decent bag going to DCA now until that may pump. There you go. Bulbasaur in the house. We got Pokemon number 2. Let's go, baby. H. Barbarina in the house. Isaac, I put $1,000 into Coinbase, and they have to hold it till Friday. Hopefully I can catch the price. Oof, man, what a terrible exchange. They're really doing that? You're going to onboard $1,000 and they're going to hold it on you for like a week? That's insane. That's insane. I cannot wait until we get to a time in crypto investing when things are smooth and we don't have to worry about these kind of, acts of bad faith by exchanges like Coinbase, right? How's it going, Roberto? The dry powder just got eaten up by my taxes. Oh, we will keep it pushing. There you go. Mine's on hold till Wednesday. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy that Coinbase does that. What's the point? What's the point? You move money on there to buy the dip, and then by the time they let you have access to your own money, the dip is over. What kind of crap is that? Yeah, that's insane. All right, let's get into some of the news, guys. Let's talk about what's going on. We got some clips to get into. We got some articles to get into. You know what? Let's get into an article first, then we'll get into a video. We'll mix it up. So what do we got going on out there? Markets continue to fall as Mr. T threatens a 50% tariff on China. All right. Financial markets experienced significant downturns on Monday after Mr. T threatened to impose a 50% tariff on China goods if Beijing fails to remove retaliatory duties. The announcement sent shockwaves through global markets, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping over 1,000 points. So Mr. T feels that only he can issue reciprocal tariffs. Only he's allowed to, nobody else. U.S. That's a little joke, by the way, guys. It's a joke. U.S. financial markets reacted strongly to Mr. T's latest trade war escalation. As of 8:56 p.m. on April 7th. What? It's not even 8:50. Oh, they must have been a.m. Must be a typo. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1,019.51 points, which is 2.66%. To 37,295, while the S&P 500 dropped 104.08 points, so 2.05%. The NASDAQ composite lost 273.16 points, so down 1.75%. Fear gripped investors, as evidenced by the VIX volatile index surging 15.67% to 52.41, Commodities were similarly affected, with oil prices dropping 3.07% to $60.09 per barrel, and gold declining 1.07% to $3,002.90 per ounce. Agriculture commodities showing some resilience, with wheat gaining 2.17% and soybeans up 0.67%. In a move that caught many analysts by surprise, Mr. T threatened to impose dramatically higher 50% tariffs on China imports for Beijing if Beijing fails to remove its retaliatory duties. This represents a significant escalation from previous tariff levels and follows what CNBC described as Mr. T's historic tariffs that have already disrupted global trade patterns. The White House has been actively responding to reactions from U.S. trade partners, industries, and employers affected by these measures. Adding to the uncertainty, the White House official labeled as fake news reports suggesting Mr. T was considering a 90-day pause on the tariffs, eliminating what some investors had hoped might be a cooling off period for negotiations. So we saw a little bit of a dead cat bounce pump earlier this morning because there was a fake news story out there that Mr. T was going to postpone the tariffs for 90 days. That was not true. So the market crashed again as a result. The implications of escalating trade tensions extended beyond stock market and cryptocurrency and bond markets. The US dollar index strengthened 0.22% to 103.25, and investors sought safe haven assets. The euro weakened against the dollar, falling 0.237% to 1.093, while the British pound declined more substantially, dropping by 1.016%. The bond market's long-term treasury yields rose significantly, with the 10-year yield increasing by 0.101%, and the 30-year yield climbing 0.154%. So things are escalating, guys. Things are escalating. We'll see how that goes. We got a super chat here from Bruno, my guy, my dude. We appreciate you for preparing us for this flash crash. I got some ZBIC last night, not much, but something is something. We love you, Rob. I love you too, buddy. I love you too. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you guys for paying attention and being ready when the time came, man. Absolutely, right? I gave you the tools. You guys used them. All I can do is show you how the cow eats the cabbage, right? All right, so we got some other stuff to get into here. Closed board meeting today. So it is anticipated that a closed meeting of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System at 11:30 a.m. this morning will be held under procedures set forth in Section 261B.7 of the board ruling regarding So the following matters: official board tendency scheduled to consider. So blah blah blah. Federal governor, the Fed is having an emergency meeting today, closed door meeting. Are they going to be forced to do an emergency rate cut? That is going to be very, very interesting. What else do we have? We have something to follow up on that. Un momento, por favor. Let me find it. Ah, yes. Okay, so we'll follow that up with this. Market faces turbulence as the Fed meeting commences. The cryptocurrency market braced for potential declines as significant events unfolded. The Federal Reserve convened for a critical closed meeting, while former President Mr. T, why are they calling him former? He's current. I know he was former before, but anyway, I digress. Issued a stark warning to China over trade tensions as market players await crucial updates from the Fed. Initial statements made by member Kugler have sparked interest among traders. In the early stages of the Fed meeting, he addressed pressing issues about inflation and tariffs. His comments highlighted the influence of the tariffs on consumer prices and inflation forecasts. Among the vital points were raised, quote, tariffs and restrictions play a crucial role in shaping inflation predictions. There's a notable expectation that inflation will rise due to customer tariffs. We've seen a price increase already, especially in the short term, where inflation expectations are climbing. While long-term inflation remains steady, short-term indicators suggest a shift. I'll get this out first. The uncertainty stemming from tariffs and the trade disputes seem to be influencing market sentiment. With Mr. T's recent threats against China, there are concerns about potential ramifications for Bitcoin ETFs. Mr. T announced China's retaliatory tariffs has reached 34%. If this increase isn't retraced by tomorrow, a further 50% customs tax from the U.S. will follow. In contrast, India reported a much lower tariff rate of 7 to 8% on U.S. goods. The market's reaction to these ongoing issues might lead to significant withdrawals from cryptocurrency ETFs, potentially exacerbating price declines. So, real quick, guys. So, before I forget, there was a conversation I was kind of paying attention to yesterday, I think it was, and you know, here's the thing. So the idea behind this is to get people to buy, you know, American goods, right? That's the thing. They want to buy local, buy domestic, right? Here's the problem with that. When you do that, when you allow the domestic manufacturers and companies to monopolize their markets, where they will get, you know, they'll get all the people coming to them because of these tariffs and stuff like that. What ends up happening is your domestic companies will start to increase their prices to make more money. That's the problem, right? They're not, you have to remember that these companies, despite the fact that they're in America, and this goes for any country, any company in any country, companies do not act in good faith, right? They're not going to not increase their prices just because they're good people, right? So domestic companies, they're what the next thing Mr. T needs to do is, if domestic manufacturers start increasing prices because of this tariff stuff, and because who does that affect? That affects you as a consumer. When they want to get more money from you, right? So what Mr. T needs to do is, if they do that, there needs to be ramifications on them for doing that, right? Because all of this relies on domestic United States companies acting in good faith and not increasing prices, right? Which I just don't have faith that any company that has a monopoly on their industry because of tariffs in the United States is not going to increase the prices of their products. I just don't believe that that's possible in this world. Greed, right? Corporate greed. So I would like to know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that domestic American-based companies are going to start to increase the prices of their products because they have a monopoly on the markets in the United States due to tariffs? Or do you think they'll be good faith actors and keep prices low, or keep prices where they are now? Let me know what you guys think about that in the chat. I'd love to know. Big Botto with the super chat. Hit the likes. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Let's get a little bit caught up in the chat here. I have a Coinbase, and I really rarely have any issues. I usually buy my USDC first and DCA into coins with it. There you go. I call them pigeon chains. Nice. Liquidity, same here, Mike. Haven't had any issues. Okay, there you go. Easy hockey playoffs and bull runs. Which one starts first? How about Ovi passing Gretzky? Crazy, man. Crazy. Good for him, though. Good for him, right? I didn't really like Ovi in the first half of his career when he was young, because he was kind of a dickhead, but he's matured, and he's really become a good guy. Seems like he seems like a good dude, probably after he became a father. I still remember a game like 12 years ago or something like that, 10, 12 years ago, or must have been like that, where he stopped short in front of a kid that was skating with the flag. You know, they get the kids to skate with the flags, and he sprayed the kid with snow in the face because the kid was wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey or something. The good old days. Yeah, but I'm excited for the playoffs. We'll see what happens, right? Absolutely, man. Wonder if they're seeing high volume are limiting money flow. Yeah, maybe. Haven't had issues with Coinbase. Yeah, unbelievable. If your money is locked somewhere and you cannot use it, yeah, that's BS, man. Ditto. Create a PayPal account, link it to your account. There you go. There's a solution. Russ says he buys in real time on Coinbase. When he first set up an account in Coinbase, they did hold for a few days. So maybe you just have to be, be a customer of Coinbase's for X amount of time, and then they'll stop doing that or something. Maybe, I don't know. I just use my cold wallet. Yeah, absolutely, man. Paul, my guy, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Maybe it's your banks. Maybe. My 1,000 is looking to get 1 million plus Miria at least. There you go. Loving Black Monday week. Let's go, baby. Miria, Jasmine, and Zebek were top of my buy list. Nice. That's a nice lineup right there. Overcome buying NFL rookie cards while the market is destroyed. You know what I started thinking about collecting lately, guys? Pokemon cards. I don't have any, but I've been thinking about it. They are valuable. They are valuable. I've been thinking about starting a collection. Let me know. Do any of you guys collect Pokemon cards? Mint condition Pokemon cards as a collector? Good thinking overcome. Hit the like button, folks. It costs nothing but BTC under 76K for a few minutes, hours ago. Yeah, it got as low as what was it at? It got as low as 74. It hit my 74K mark, right? Let's look at the Bitcoin chart. Let's pull that up. It did. Yeah, we wicked all the way down right to my target. We kissed right off my target. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. Boom. Touched it perfectly. And then all the way back up again. Be interesting. Be interesting to see where we go from here. There's a very strong possibility, guys, that from this point we just do that sideways action right in this area through April, right? If we go over to the where is it? If we go over to the Bitcoin M2 money supply chart. Okay, what the heck? All right. All right. If we go over to the Bitcoin M2 money supply chart, have a looky-loo. Look at that correlation, guys. Look at that perfect correlation to the downside. Boom, all the way back up. We wicked down to 74. Perfect. So this is what I'm talking about right here. I think this is April. This is what we're going to do through April before through May and June, moving back to the upside, right? So yeah, that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm watching. Trying to talk my employer into switching to getting paid in Zebek. It's worth a shot, right? How's it going, man? You think it's possible the bottom is in? I do think it's possible. We did hit 74. We hit our mark. We did hit our mark. So it's entirely possible. Yes. Johnny, my guy, the dude. Johnny with the gets the epic introduction, guys. Johnny was the first channel member on this channel over 2 years ago. My guy, my dude, still with me through the thick and the thin. I love you, buddy. Jovan, what's up, man? Good to see you. Studio Tech, use PayPal and you will never have issues. There you go. My kids collect them. Nice. There you go. But do they keep them in mint condition? That's the trick, right? Rob started collecting Nintendo new 3D XL if you can. Nintendo new 3Ds XL. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Hang on. I'm going to look it up right now. What is that? I'm all about diversifying my portfolio in new things, guys. Always. Nintendo 3D. Oh. Nintendo 3DS XL. Oh, it's a handheld gaming console? Why should I collect those, brother? Are they like I don't know, I have to look into them more. Are they sought after? I have some good Pokemon cards. H Barbarita, perfect. There you go, brother. I'm thinking about collecting, man. Late to the live, Rob. Expecting more crashes like today. UK, thanks. It's possible, but I don't know. I kind of am starting to get the vibe that we're going to kind of go sideways. We touched my target of 74K, so I think that we may consolidate for the next month or so sideways now. Started collecting since the 80s. Nice. We having another dump. Looking at the M2 money supply, it looks like we're going to kind of go sideways there a little bit now, right? I mean, it's going to go sideways in a range. It's not going to be just straight sideways. It'll be up, down, but not major volatility, I don't think. I'm glad it finally hit the 74K. It's been annoying in the 80 range. We've been waiting a long time for sure. I started collecting Pokemon and Magic and NFL Magic cards. There's another one. I used to play Magic cards in grade school. OG Johnny. You never forget the OG entrance announcement. Love it. Pure gold. I never forget it, brother. Never forget it, man. Played Magic and others. Yeah, me too, man. I played it when I was, like I said, probably grade 6, grade 7. Collecting Appeal. I'm hooked. Nice. Telly, thank you, Rob, for this foreseen sale we've been blessed with. Hey, no problem, man. No problem. I'm just glad you guys took advantage of it, right? Okay, what else do we have? We got this. This is kind of bad news as well. This was a little bit, I mean, it started to look positive, but so the European Union says it's ready to discuss 0 tariffs with the U.S. And I even got this video of them saying it here. Check this out. Right? Stupid thing takes forever to load. Okay. I think my internet's kind of lagging a little bit. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me while I try to screen share this. I think I'm moving too fast for StreamYard. But check this out. So European Union.
We stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners, because Europe is always ready for a good deal. So we keep it on the table. But we are also prepared to respond through countermeasures and defend our interests.
So that sounded good this morning, right? The EU saying they were willing to go 0 for tariffs with the US, which is what Trump says he wants. So I don't understand what the disconnect is here, what the problem is, right? He said that these are retaliatory tariffs and that he would get rid of them if other countries would get rid of theirs. Well, here we have the EU saying, hey, we'll go 0 with you. We'll wipe ours out, you wipe yours out, and we're all good. And then he didn't do it. So why, is he lying to us? Is he saying that if these countries play ball thinking that they wouldn't, and now that they are, he's going back on his word? I don't know, because I don't understand the disconnect here. If he said, we want 0 for 0, if you get rid of your tariffs, we'll get rid of ours. The EU says, okay, let's get rid of our tariffs. And then he doesn't get rid of them against the EU. So what? did he lie? I don't know. I don't know why, what the disconnect is here, right? But then, because shortly after that, this happened, right? This happened shortly after. European Union proposes 25% tariff on U.S. goods. So first they said, we'll go 0 for 0 with you. I guess Mr. T said no. And so then they introduced a 25% tariff. So I'm starting to get a vibe here, guys, that he's lying about this whole, if you get rid of yours, we'll get rid of ours, which plays into what I was saying before about how he's been acting like the U.S. is a victim or something, and the rest of the world's taking advantage of him. And he's saying, if you get rid of it, then you get rid of your tariffs, we'll get rid of ours. People are getting rid of their tariffs, and he's not getting rid of his, right? So why is he really doing these tariffs then? If he's not following through with what he said, then what's the real reason behind the tariffs, right? I don't know. This is all confusing to me right now. I don't have all of the information, nor does anybody really, except for people inside the White House. So it's hard to say. It's all just speculation, but maybe the EU's lying. Maybe they're just saying that publicly, and they're not actually willing to go 0 for 0. Somebody seems to be lying. I don't know, right? So very interesting. Anyway, in Rob we trust. Thank you, Enzo. I collected some good gems. Hope I don't have to keep them for 20 years. Do you feel Mr. T has any? Possibly, yeah. Very good investment in Nintendo has stopped producing the consoles, and it's very hard to get it. Oh, okay. So maybe I'll see if I can find one. Johnny gifting the 10 Crypto Future memberships. Johnny, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, my guy. Beebs, my dude. Well done, Johnny. Thanks, John. Yeah, make sure you guys thank Johnny there. He says, up for grabsies. Pick them up, boys. Jason says, thanks. One love. Triple J. Canada Gex. What's up, man? Join the Patreon, but stay out of the joking chat. Oh, man. Yeah, we don't need to go naming people, though. I have 20 Nintendo new 3DLs. Cost me a little when I bought them. Now, the average cost around $200 to $300. Wow. Nice. I'm all about collecting stuff, man. Planet Bitcoin. Go, Mr. T. Much love, Johnny. Hey, Rob, do you think we can still bounce towards 75? Well, here's the thing, guys. Yes, there is a possibility for a bounce here because there's a lot of people. There are a lot of shorts in the market right now. A lot of shorts and no longs, really. All the longs got liquidated, right? So there's a lot of shorts. And combine the fact that there's a lot of shorts with the fact that we now have a CME gap because of the weekend drop around 84K. So that sets us up between all of the shorts that are put in right now and the CME gap. That sets us up nicely for a relief rally back up to around 84, 85K, maybe even 86, right? So that could be in the cards as well. Just some things to keep note of, right? Say his name on yeah. I'm not allowed to say his name. That's exactly it. I think it's crazy, but it's a sign of the world that we live in and why we need the changes that we need, right? Why we need him in office to make these changes, because a simple thing like I can't say his name on the channel or my channel gets shadow banned. That's not right, and that needs to be corrected through regulations, right? Blessings, Johnny. Thank you for the membership, says Paradise. Have you heard anything with XCN and Goliath? Are you still? Oh yeah, I'm still very bullish on XCN. Nice, Barbarina. Nice. So no more 73. No, that's still possible too. I didn't say that, but I would be satisfied with us touching 74K because we did hit my target. So I would be satisfied with that if we consolidate where we are now for the next month, right? Almost at 3 million. Zivik, nice. There you go. Big collection of Beanie Babies. There you go. Epic. Those are valuable AF as well. All right, so we'll see what happens coming out of the EU, guys. But all right, what else do we have here? Let's get into one of our videos here from Squawk Box. So we got former Fed Vice Chair Bernard on the tariff impacts. The Fed Reserve is in a bind here. Check it out, guys.
Chairman Jay Powell said that President Trump's tariffs are larger than expected, making it harder to say what the appropriate path forward will be for Fed action. Joining us right now with the tariffs' impact on the Fed is former National Economic Council Director under President Biden, Leo Brainerd. She's also a former federal vice chair. And Leo, already this morning, we have heard from the president himself posting on Truth Social, once again putting pressure on the Fed to cut rates right now. It's clearly a more difficult position for the Fed to be in. How should they respond?
Look, I think the Federal Reserve is in a bind here. We heard the chair say it, that these tariffs are much larger than were expected. They're going to be much more disruptive. It'll really lead to massive changes in supply chains. And we know from the pandemic, that means very persistent inflation or persistent higher prices. Those higher prices could come before any signs of real slowdown in the labor market. And so the Fed is going to have a difficult time. Don't forget, consumers' inflation expectations have already jumped up on the expectation of tariffs. They are coming off the experience of having lived through high inflation, so they're going to be much more sensitive to it. And so the Federal Reserve is going to be very sensitive to any possibility that those inflation expectations could stay higher. And so they're going to be reluctant to provide a lot of support to the economy before they actually see slowing.
Jeff Gundlach pointing out last night that the 2-year U.S. Treasury yield, around 3.5%, already is suggesting that Fed funds are about 75 basis points too high, that they would like to see that come back down. This morning, the 2 years at 3.629%. But he doesn't think that the Fed actually will cut rates unless the losses are substantially greater than what we see right now. Would you agree with that?
So I think that it is a very difficult position for the Federal Reserve when you get very strong inflationary pressures coupled with the possibility that the economy could slow a great deal, which is, of course, what the stock market is telling us. Now, the market, as you said, is getting out ahead and anticipating that the Fed is going to have to cut at some juncture. But if those cuts come late, because the inflation comes early, you could still see a very significant downward move in the economy, in the labor market, certainly among consumers. We've already seen their sentiment plunge, and it is likely to go down further as they think about what's happening to their 401ks, as well as the prices they're seeing in stores.
In normal times, the Fed has a pretty straightforward formula. It's going to be looking at things like the labor report. The one we just got on Friday was very strong from a month ago. It'd be looking at things like CPI to try and figure out CPI and PPI, where the inflation levels are. But when you have a crisis like this, the situation on the ground is moving a lot faster than the data will reflect those normal data points that you're watching. Where does the Fed look? What are the alternative data points that they might be reading at a time like this?
Well, I think you're right, first of all, that the last payrolls report, which was good, was backward looking. I think people are expecting the CPI report to be pretty good, but they're not going to take much comfort from it because those tariff price increases haven't started working their way through. But if you look at the increase in the weighted average tariff rate, to something like over 22% from where it is today, that's $3,800 of lost purchasing power for the average family. And that is a very complicated equation for the Federal Reserve to navigate through. You know, it is not even clear right now what those tariffs are going to be. There is so much uncertainty out there. Businesses have pulled back. Obviously, the Trump administration has in mind that they're going to get significant amounts of revenue from these tariffs. So maybe that base of 10% is locked in. That's already a tripling of our average tariff level. And then on top of that, higher tariffs for sectors like auto, steel, semiconductors, possibly lumber. And then we just don't know what's going to happen with the very high tariffs on countries like Vietnam, China, the EU, Europe, and even little Lesotho.
I guess the Federal Reserve probably doesn't like being put in the position of coming to the rescue for policy moves that are put on so quickly without much time in advance. Is it fair to say that the Fed would be reluctant to jump into the rescue right away?
Well, I think the difficulty for the Federal Reserve is it has to make policy on its dual mandate, which is inflation and the labor market. And if inflation expectations and inflation are moving up quickly, and the slowdown is not coming for some time, they are going to be in a very difficult bind because they are going to want to lean against those inflationary pressures. And that gives them much less ability to come in to support the labor market before they see any signs of weakening. So this is one of the most difficult scenarios for the Federal Reserve. And it's made all the more difficult because the White House has left so much uncertainty. And, the markets are reacting to that uncertainty because there is no clarity on what those ultimate tariff levels are going to be. And the tariffs that they have announced are jaw-droppingly large compared to what most people expected and any historical experience dating back all the way to Smoot-Hawley.
Interesting. Will the Fed act or not? I guess we'll find out. They are having an emergency meeting today, guys, so there's that. All right, let's catch up in the chat a little bit. Paper money, nice. I collected games too, but don't resell, just hoard like my there you go. And play them. Keep my buy orders then. Yep, absolutely. You never know. More pain to come. Jeremiah, we got Pikachu in the house. We just need Squirtle and Charmander now. 3 Pokemon down, 2 to go. Stay strong. Don't let the news get to your head. Yes. Bought some more Turbo. There you go. I never trust anything these people report. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Dennis says, makes no sense, Mr. T1 0 for 0 tariffs. That doesn't move jobs to the U.S. Other countries could just continue. Yeah, I agree with you. The problem is, if he thinks that he's going to put, if the world that he's trying to create is that the U.S. puts tariffs on other countries, but no countries put tariffs on the U.S., I want to know what he's smoking, right? Because I mean, if that's the plan, because like you just said, Dennis, the point is to get people to try to, consumers to shop domestically, right? Which you'd want to have tariffs on, things being imported. The thing is, there are statistics out there that are just mind-boggling. Like, for example, the auto industry. We've touched on the auto industry many, many times on the channel here. And 60% of vehicles purchased by Americans are foreign vehicles, largely from companies or countries like Japan, right? And I can tell you as a owner and a retired finance manager in the auto industry, I can tell you this right now. I'm almost 15 years in the industry. I can tell you this. Most people in the West don't want American-made or Canadian-made vehicles. They don't. They want Toyotas. They want, they want Nissan. They want They want stuff that actually lasts a long time, right? And I'm just speaking from experience here. I can't tell you how many times I went to show somebody a GMC and they were like, you know what, you got any Toyotas? You know what I'm saying? Or German? Yeah, German, exactly, AFC. A lot of people want Volkswagen, stuff like that too, right? They don't want American-made vehicles because here's the reason. American companies build their vehicles to last no more than 5 years. They want a turnover. They want you to have to buy a new vehicle, trade your old one in and buy a new one every 3 to 5 years so they can continue making money off of you. That's why American companies and Canadian companies, manufacturers, build vehicles cheap, right? They want you needing a new one. They don't want to sell you one vehicle that's going to last you 20, 25 years. Why would they want that? That doesn't make any sense, right? But these other companies, these other countries like Japan, Toyota, Nissan, Volkswagen, they build their vehicles to last a long time, right? So I don't think that a tariff on imported vehicles was the point. I don't think that tariff is going to sway people because people are very, very stubborn and specific when it comes to the brand of vehicle that they prefer to drive and own, right? So I don't think a little bit of a tariff is going to stop somebody who refuses to drive a GMC versus a Toyota Tacoma or something. They're still going to buy their Toyota, right? That's like trying to get a Ford guy to buy a Chevy. It's not going to happen, right? Mr. T's really trying to put pressure on Powell. Yes, absolutely. Squirtle, there she is, green tea. All right, we just need Charmander now. We got the full set. Hey, Rob, I'm here. My comments still not going through on X. Yeah, I wonder why that is. I was wondering where you were at. My husband has been asking me for crypto money to buy more Pokemon cards. I only need one Squirtle, of course. Nice. Devin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, so I was going to play this one too, guys, but it's a little bit of a longer one, and I got to get going over to the Patreon. So I'll save this for this evening's live stream. We'll cover it. Yeah, we'll cover it in great detail. So I'm going to go over there. I got some one-on-one coaching calls I have to do over on the Patreon, guys. If you want to get in, get your spot booked for a one-on-one coaching call. Guys, they're absolutely free. So it's a tool at your disposal that costs you nothing. So get over to the Patreon and utilize the tools at your disposal. We can sit down. We can have a private conversation. We can have a look at your portfolio. Make sure you're not over-diversified. Make sure you're pointed in the right direction. And if you need help deciding what to do when the market is like this, guys, that's a perfect time to utilize a free tool like that. So get over to the Patreon, schedule a one-on-one coaching call with me personally. Let's sit down. Let's have a chat. Join the community. We're live over there every single night. We're dropping educational videos. We're dropping microcap gem videos and so much more, guys. The chat's buzzing 24/7. Check it out for yourselves. Also, guys, get yourself a decent self-custody wallet. The link is down below for that as well. Not your keys, not your coins. They are the channel sponsor. Use our link. Get a fantastic deal. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. Sorry, I was just reading something. This dump shit. This shit dump. Anyway, God bless, guys. I will see you guys over on the Patreon. I'm going to start doing the one-on-one coaching calls in about 10 minutes. So I'll see you guys over there. God bless.